I even quoted it already, didn't I? I love Braveheart.
Warrior has moved into my new favorite movie. It's bumped Braveheart to number 2.
The movie was awesome.
It came out last year.
This year?
This year.
We're still in 2011.
We are, 2011. Okay, Jen's turn.
I know it's super embarrassing and absolutely not rock band, but I love Kung Fu Panda, and I don't even care.
I gotta go Jurassic Park.
First one. Sing the song, go ahead. He's always playing the Jurassic Park thing on his guitar at sound check. And we're like, oh man, here we go. He likes dinosaurs.
All right, now Clayton from New Jersey wants to know, who do you guys try to reach with your lyrics the most?
Humans. Who we try to reach most? I don't think there's anybody that I would say I don't think there's anybody in particular we're trying to reach. I will say there was a shift with Skillet that probably happened years ago before all of these people were born.
We're not actually that
No,
old.
I'm 22. Anyhow, there was a shift back when we had a record come out called Collide. Thank you very much, all you people. Something deep inside. I don't know why I did that. It's been a long time since I've sung that song. That hurt. Anyhow, that was, I think, where skills are changing. I think from writing, particularly before that, I felt called to write songs to Christian people. And I think they were songs that, as Christians, that people could relate to in our relationship with God, and what's our role as the church is meant to do on the earth, things like that. And then when I was making this record, Collide, I think I felt God speak to me about changing my direction, and it was beginning to write about more experiences, I think, things that all people can relate to, whether you're a Christian, atheist, or anything in between. And that's when I began to write more about issues, issue-driven music, things I'm going through in my life, things that all of us are going through. So it's an important thing for Skillet. Skillet is a little bit different than what I would call classic Christian music. Classic Christian music is written for Christian people, which I really love. I grew up listening to Petra and DeGarmo and Key and Striper and all that. And I love what I would call classic Christian music. But Skillet is, I think, a band maybe more in the vein of Switchfoot or B.O.D. or somebody like that is writing music not just for Christian people, it's for everybody. I think that's a calling, by the way. I don't think all bands should do that. I think Casting Crowns is really great at what they do, and they write music for the church, and I think that's really great. Toby is one of my good friends, people like that. So I think you just got to know what God has called you to do, and Skillet is, being obedient to that. Thanks.
Cool. Along the same lines, a couple people have actually asked this question, but what was the inspiration behind the song "Feel Like a Monster"? Is there something in particular that
the Hulk. That's true. The Hulk. What'd you say? You want me to sing it? I don't like to sing in front of people. Feel like a monster! That's for you naughty rocker. Anyway, I love comic books, and I'm a closet nerd. That's right. And I played in the marching band, for any of you marching band nerds. I'm on your team. I play the trombone. Yeah. I was my whole life I kept in the bass clef. You like that, don't you? I know. Why do you like me? Anyway.
It was funny.
It was funny. Whatever for these people. Anyhow, so I was watching the Hulk, and I've all the comic books that I loved as a kid. I never particularly liked the Hulk. And when I was watching the movie, hit me what the Hulk was really about, probably for the first time. And I was making, some associations between that anger that he couldn't help, that he would turn into something. And I was making associations between that and, what you would call original sin, which is that we are born in this world sinful and there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do about it is to cry out to God for a new nature. And that's what a monster is all about. Feel like a monster. Pardon?
I don't know what you just said.
Whoa! I like you.
All right, we
I
have.
just don't speak Rambo. I like you rockers today. Got an audience to make jokes in front of.
Okay, we have time for one more question. So the last question comes from Mike from North Carolina. What's life like out on tour for you guys?
Life is interesting on tour. There are really amazing things about it, and there are really extremely challenging things about it. Corey and I have 2 kids that travel with us as well. They are 9 and 6. Yeah, they're cute and great. And but it's very challenging because we live our life in a bus, and Corey and Jen actually do homeschooling for the kids, so they teach school, and they're great. That's what they spend their days doing. Yeah, I don't do schooling. I'm not so good at being smart. But the girls do the schooling, and I make jokes in the background. And it's just really weird life because my kids have been on tour with, my kids have met Alice Cooper, and they've been on tour with crazy, Stone Sour, which is the singer from Slipknot, and so we're friends with people like that my kids have kind of grown up and been accustomed to being around all sorts of people, which I think is really good and amazing witnessing opportunities. One of the bands that we had toured with on the mainstream side, I won't say who, but one of the lead singers of a band we toured with, his brother was also on their tour and had killed himself while the tour was happening. He had just jumped out of a hotel room, I think, it was probably, high, and had died. And so the singer for this band had gone back into drugs and, cocaine and all sorts of stuff. And so, we began praying for him, and my daughter, who was, 4 years old at the time, was praying for this guy every single night. And she would go to him the next day and tell him that she was praying for him and things. And so life on the road is very unusual with a family, but we're seeing how God is using us in the Christian music world and in the mainstream music world. And I think probably raising up an evangelistic heart in my kids, that is kind of unique. And I think that makes our whole band feel that we're on a mission field. So before every time we do a show, I look at my wife and I say, "You ready to go into battle?" We're going into battle for the Lord, because music is a powerful weapon, and you don't really know the things that God is using you to do in your life. But I think that's true for all of us in all of our lives on a day-to-day basis if you're just obedient to walking in the Holy Spirit, right? I'll start preaching if I have to. And I don't even feel bad. I'll take a walk into Shundai Land too. I don't even mind that. Who knows? That one guy. Anyway, so that's what life is like on the road. It's very strange, and sometimes you're like, all I want to do is go to have my own car and go to the mall and act like a normal person. But it's a great job. It's a lot of fun. I get to meet people with signs with skillets attached to them that say, "I'm a pinhead. I like you." Is that for me? You're not? Yeah, thank you very much. And Dr. Pepper. That's nice.
I got Dr.
We got a pinhead right here, people.
I got Dr. Pepper.
That's what road life is like.
Stop calling it. I thought it was
All right.
Thank you.
So that was the last question.
Well, everybody give a big hand of thank you for Skillet. You guys can catch Skillet in the Zion Center. They're headlining at 10:25. Be sure you don't miss it. Thanks so much. Give them another hand of applause.